Good afternoon, everyone. So, as we discussed in the last lecture, we'll see the physical significance of Hamilton function. Okay, any doubt about the last lecture?
No, ma'am.
Let us go for the next one. That is, we will see now the proof for the physical significance of Hamiltonian function. For that, we have to prove this for the conservative case. Okay, we have seen the two parts. First, we have to prove that for a scleronomic system, and second one is for the rheonomic system. What is there we want to prove is for the constraints of scleronomic, Hamiltonian H represent both constant for motion and the total energy. Okay, show that or prove that for the conservative system. The first we want to prove is a scleronomic. We have a scleronomic system in which we want to prove that H represent both constant of motion and the total energy. S is equal to constant and the total energy, that is T plus V. Second one, we have a rheonomic system that we want to prove that H does not represent the total energy. H does not represent the total energy. H may be the constant of the constant. Okay, sorry, constant of motion. Okay, so these are the two parts we want to prove. As I told you, this was a question as it is asked in the set exam 2015. Okay, now let us go for first part. We know the Hamilton's canonical equations of motion are given by Hamilton's canonical equations of motion are given by. What are the Hamilton's canonical equations of motion? Pj is equal to minus dou h by dou qj. Next is qj dot is equal to dou h by dou pj. Next is dou h by dou t is equal to minus dou L by dou t. Okay, so these are our equation. Now we know one part from our Hamilton, how the Hamilton H is defined. With the help of that, we are going to write down H is equals to H is a function of Pj, Qj, and T. This we have seen in the last lecture. Okay, how this is defined? H is defined with the help of summation over J, Pj, Qj dot minus L. Now let us find out the value dH by dt. We want to show that H is a total energy as well as it is constant of motion. Okay, so let us start with that. That is summation over J dou H by dou Pj, derivative of Pj with respect to T, plus next term summation over J, derivative of H with respect to Qj and Qj dot, plus next last term is dou H by dou T. Okay, when constraints are scleronomic, we know that dou L by dou T is equals to 0. The Lagrangian does not involve the time t explicitly. बरोबर ना? Constraint है scleronomic दिलेत. Okay, if we are having scleronomic constraint, then L is not involving the time t. So dl by dt or dou L by dou t equal to 0. So, but we know from the equation, what are the equation? Dou H by dou T is equal to dou L by dou T. So this is equal to 0. It means that this term is also 0, which means this is 0. बरोबर? समजते सगळ्यांना? Yes, ma'am. Okay, simply with the help of our scleronomic constant, we get the last term of dH by dt will be equal to 0. Okay. And what about these two terms? Whether these two are equal and opposite? Yes. What is your dou H by dou Pj and dou H by dou Qj? ये क्या है आपका dou H by dou Qj? What is this? Dou H by dou Qj. This is what your Pj. And dou H by dou Pj is nothing but Qj dot. Okay, let me substitute those values of Hamilton's canonical equation of motion. dh by dt is equal to summation over j. What is the value of dou h by dou pj? We have is qj dot, and here it is pj dot minus. Okay, what is dou h by dou qj? With negative sign it is pj. Sorry, it should be pj dot, huh? Sorry for that. Here it should be pj dot. In the last lecture we have derived this equation. So here I can write this summation over pj dot qj dot. Last term is already 0, so plus minus both will get cancelled. So I can get dh by dt equal to 0. So if I am integrating this with respect to t, so what I get the value h is a constant of motion. Okay. क्या करना है आपको? फर्स्ट यू हैव टू राइट डाउन द हैमिल्टन्स कैनोनिकल इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन, देन राइट व्हाट इज अ हैमिल्टनियन डिफाइन. नाउ इफ यू वांट टू फाइंड आउट h is a constant of motion, so you have to first find out dh by dt. So if dh by dt equal to 0, it means that h is a constant of motion. Okay. So next is dh by dt. We can write down summation over j dou h by dou pj into pj dot minus plus. Next term is derivative with respect to qj and derivative of qj with respect to t. Here also you can take the help of those Hamilton's equation, and then the first, second, third, all this you can take a help of that. Scleronomic system में क्या होता है? Dou L by dou t equal to 0, which means that dou h by dou t, that is last term of this equation, is 0 होना रहे. Okay, so now just you have to replace, then plus minus will get cancelled, and hence h is a constant of motion. Okay, next we want to prove that it is a total energy. We want to prove that h represent the total energy, but we know that Lagrangian L do not contain the time t, क्योंकि हमने scleronomic system consider किया ना. In the scleronomic system, L does not involve the time t. It does not involve a time t. Now we know what is L. L is defined by t minus v Lagrangian L. Okay, so neither t or v contains the time t. बरोबर? T and v both are not involving time t. Okay, but we know that the potential energy V is not a function of generalized velocity in case of conservative system. So dou V by dou Qj dot is equal to 0. When the kinetic energy T is also not involving the time T, then the kinetic energy is homogeneous function of generalized velocity. ये सब चीजें आपको कब समझ में आएगी? अगर आपने फर्स्ट चैप्टर स्टडी किया है. Okay, this we have studied in the first chapter itself, that potential energy, if it is not a function of generalized velocity, its derivative equal to 0. Next thing, we have studied many theorems in the last unit of our first chapter. Sorry, फर्स्ट यूनिट के लास्ट जो पॉइंट्स थे वहां पे हमने बहुत सारे थ्योरम स्टडी किए थे. लेट मी राइट डाउन द स्टेटमेंट. व्हेन काइनेटिक एनर्जी डज नॉट involve time t, and kinetic energy does not involve a time t, then kinetic energy is homogeneous function of kinetic energy is homogeneous function of generalized velocity. Kinetic energy is homogeneous function of the generalized velocity. Okay, आठवते का है theorem ची statement. Okay, let me
Yes,
write
ma'am.
down this summation over j qj dot dou t by dou qj dot. I think now you can remember this is equal to 2t we have proved, and then with a2, a1, a0 we have written. This is summation over j ajk qj dot and qk dot. Okay, this type of three terms we were having, and we name this as a a2, a1, and a0, and then we have found what will happen for the scleronomic and rheonomic system. Okay, so here first we have to take a help of things whatever given to us. Okay, so हमें क्या पता है now? 2t is equals to, now here value of this also we have to take a help from the first chapter. So we have written them, it is equal to summation over j pj qj dot. ओके, इसका वैल्यू pj है. लास्ट लेक्चर में मैंने दिखाया था हाउ इट इज pj. right? Those who remember the last lecture. Okay, so let me write down say equation 1. Now we know that what we know that Hamiltonian is defined by summation over J Pj Qj dot minus L. Okay, what is the value of this we have found from equation 1? It is 2t minus what is the value of L? L is nothing but t minus v. Okay, so totally what you get 2t minus t which is equal to t only. Minus minus become plus, so it is v. So hence I get the h is equal to, that is Hamiltonian h is nothing but t plus v which is nothing but your total energy. ओके सो आपको ये प्रूफ करना है तो आपको थोड़ा सा फर्स्ट चैप्टर स्टडी करना पड़ेगा. ओके when you know that potential energy is not a function of generalized velocity, and in case of scleronomic system kinetic energy is homogeneous function of a generalized velocity. At that time I have given you the homework for the homogeneous also. What is homogeneous function? I think I have given you the example of log x also to check whether it is homogeneous or not. I don't know how many of you done this homework. So for that we have this result, and just by taking the help of equation 1, the result is proved. Okay. Now let us go for the second part where we have to consider the rheonomic system, in which we have to prove that H is not a total energy and H may represent the constant of motion. No need to prove the second statement h may represent constant of motion. वो डिपेंड है कि कौन सा आपका कंसिडरेशन है, कौन सा एग्जाम्पल आप कंसिडर कर रहे हो. So at that time it will depend. Okay, now here it involves a time t. That means we have a rheonomic system. So what is there in the rheonomic system? Given that constraints are rheonomic, in this case we know that kinetic energy is quadratic function of generalized velocity. Okay, so here we know that it is equal to t is equal to summation over j and k. If you remember, it is ajk qj dot qk dot plus summation over j. Again, it is ajk qj dot plus last is a naught, which is say equation number 1 for this part 2. Okay, t equal to, if you remember, we have written this as t2 t1 plus t naught. Correct? ये वाला आपका equation है. But in particular, in case of a rheonomic system, what you got? आठवते का कुणाला? What you got in case of rheonomic system? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, let me name it as some equation 2 which we have derived already in the first unit. Okay, those who don't remember, go back to the last lectures of the first unit. Last lectures of the first unit, then you can remember. But we know that dou v by dou qj dot is equal to 0 in case of conservative system. And next we have pj is equals to dou l by dou qj dot, which is equals to dou t by dou qj dot. Okay, L is nothing but T minus V. So simply I am writing the same thing. Dou V by dou Qj dot. So this is 0. So hence we get it is dou T by dou Qj dot. Okay. So finally, I have to just substitute here this value. Value of dou T by dou Qj dot, we have got it is equal to Pj. So hence I can get, this is what summation over J Pj Qj dot is equals to 2T2 plus T1. Okay. We have seen all this derivation in our first unit. So you have to go back if you want to remember the things. Now, how the Hamiltonian H is defined? It is summation over J Pj Qj dot minus L. So इसका वैल्यू हमें क्या मिला है? 2T2 plus T1 minus L is nothing but T minus V. And hence we get H is equal to T2 plus T1 minus T minus plus V. So which is not equal to total energy. आहे का है? Whether it is equal to total energy?
No.
So hence we can say that H is not equal to total energy. So hence now, however, it may represent the constant of motion depending on the situation or the example which you have, in which with the help of all the consideration we can see whether H is a total energy or sorry, H is a constant of motion or not. Okay. So in this way we have proved these two part. क्या करना है आपको, वेरी इजी पार्ट है. यहाँ पे सिर्फ फर्स्ट पार्ट में क्या है, हम किया है, हमने dh by dt फाइंड आउट किया है, हैमिल्टन कैनोनिकल इक्वेशंस ऑफ मोशन यूज किए हैं, स्क्लेरोनॉमिक का कंडीशन, एंड देन प्रूव द रिजल्ट. नेक्स्ट में क्या किया है, ये वाला आपको फर्स्ट चैप्टर में मिल जाएगा. 2t इक्वल टू समेशन ओवर जे पी जे क्यू जेड. यूजिंग दैट इक्वेशन यू गेट द रिजल्ट. ओके. सेकेंड पार्ट में भी आपको फर्स्ट चैप्टर में फिर से वापस जाना पड़ेगा और देन यू हैव टू जस्ट फाइंड आउट द रिजल्ट 2t2 plus t1 and hence h is not equal to total kinetic energy. Okay. आहे का है h is equal to 2t2 plus t1, like this the expression is there, so which is not equal to t plus v. Okay, but it may represent the constant of motion in some cases. Okay, now let us see what is the difference between the Lagrangian and the Hamiltonian, why the Hamiltonian should be defined if we have already the Lagrangian. Okay, so use of a cyclic coordinate will differentiate these two terms very finely. Correct. क्या होता है यहाँ पे, the use of cyclic coordinate is not so much profitable in our Lagrangian. Okay, अगर आपके पास कोई cyclic coordinate है Lagrangian में, so it is not a profitable. Why it is not profitable? Because if you remember some of the coordinate, if it is absent, अगर आपको फर्स्ट यूनिट का कुछ याद है तो हम क्या करते हैं, डो एल बाय डो एक्स, सपोज यू फाइंड डो एल बाय डो थीटा, समटाइम इट इज इक्वल टू जीरो, येतात ना एक्सप्रेशन इक्वल टू जीरो. एल फाइंड आउट करतो आपण टी मायनस व्ही. येस, यू रिमेंबर और नॉट?
Yes, ma'am.
Many examples of the first chapter we have found. Now, first we find kinetic energy, then we find potential energy, then we find L is equal to T minus V, then we go for the Lagrange's equations of motion. जितने आपके generalized coordinate होंगे उतने ही आपके Lagrange's equations of motion होंगे. Okay. So sometime you see that dou L by dou x or dou L by dou theta equal to zero होता है, but there exists dou L by dou x dot. बरोबर ना? सो वी हैव टू सॉल्व बोथ द इक्वेशन, क्योंकि आपके पास ऑप्शन नहीं है. डो एल बाय डो एक्स इक्वल टू जीरो होगा तो भी आपको ये पूरा एक्सप्रेशन सॉल्व ही करना पड़ेगा ना, डी बाई डी टी ऑफ डो एल बाय डो एक्स डॉट. सो दे में एग्जिस्ट x, if it x is absent, maybe x dot present, so you have to solve this equation, right? So the use of a cyclic coordinate is not profitable in case of our Lagrangian. Okay, but what will happen if you have a Hamilton's? Okay, समझ में आया सभी को? Suppose sometime dou L by dou x equal to zero, but at that time x dot may be present in your L, so dou L by dou x dot will not be zero. So you have to solve that equation if you want to find out the Lagrange's equation of a motion. Okay. So the use of cyclic coordinate is not much more profitable in case of a Lagrangian formulation because the corresponding generalized velocity qj dot is present in the Lagrangian. बरोबर ना? In the Lagrangian definition itself it is present क्योंकि L is a function of qj dot and t. So if qj is absent, maybe qj dot will be present. So still you have to solve the same number of equation. Okay, so if qj is cyclic in L, it does not imply that qj dot is also cyclic. You have to again solve the same number of equation to find out the solution. Okay, hence we have to deal with the still n number of degrees of freedom क्योंकि हम same number of equation solve करना पड़ेगा ना, क्योंकि with respect to x derivative zero है तो dou L by dou x dot may be present and you have to solve the equation. Still we can say that we have to deal with n degrees of freedom. Yes, anyone remember the definition of degrees of freedom? Generalized coordinate. Yes, tell me what is degrees of freedom.
The least possible number of linearly independent coordinates.
Least possible number of linear, you can say the number which represent the least possible number of linearly independent coordinate. मतलब नंबर ऑफ जनरलाइज कोऑर्डिनेट क्या है आपका, डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम. डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम क्या है, एक नंबर है सिर्फ. सो स्टिल वी हैव टू डील विथ एन डिग्रीज ऑफ फ्रीडम, क्योंकि एक साइक्लिक कोऑर्डिनेट होने की वजह से कोई इफेक्ट नहीं होता है. आपको सेम नंबर ऑफ इक्वेशन सॉल्व करना पड़ेगा और उतने ही आपको कोऑर्डिनेट से डील करना पड़ेगा. ओके, बट हाउएवर इफ सपोज qj is cyclic in your Hamiltonian, okay, if suppose qj is cyclic in Hamiltonian, so here the corresponding generalized momentum pj is constant. Okay, corresponding generalized momentum is constant. क्यों constant है, if you remember in the starting lecture itself I have told you क्या करना है आपको, qj is cyclic means what, dou L by dou qj equal to 0. Okay, now just put up in our Lagrange's equation of motion, dou L by dou qj माइनस की जगह मैं इक्वालिटी लिखूंगी d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot. So what is the value of dou L by dou qj? It is equal to 0, which is d by dt of dou L by dou qj dot. Hence, but we know that dou L by dou qj dot is a pj. So pj and derivative of a pj with respect to t equal to 0, which implies pj is equal to constant. Integrating this equation, we get pj is equal to constant. Is it okay? कळालं आता qj सायक्लिक असेल तरी pj हे फक्त कॉन्स्टंट नंबर आहे. but here we get qj is cyclic, but still we have to deal with the n degrees of freedom. Okay, so you can say that if qj is cyclic in Hamiltonian, the corresponding pj is constant and the degrees of freedom is reduced by 1. And here now we have to deal with the n minus 1 degrees of freedom. Okay, but now we have to deal with the n minus 1 degrees of freedom. Hence, Hamilton's procedure is especially adopted for the problems involving the cyclic coordinate. Okay, जब आपके पास cyclic coordinate होंगे तो आप क्या use करोगे, Hamilton's equations of motion, क्योंकि उससे आपको number of coordinate से deal करना एक number से decrease हो जाता है. Okay, suppose you have a 3 generalized coordinates, so now you have to only deal with the 2 generalized coordinate. क्योंकि अगर qj साइक्लिक है तो आपका pj corresponding value of momentum, generalized momentum will be equal to constant. Okay, so main difference about the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian is what, the presence of cyclic and non-cyclic coordinate. अगर यहाँ पे Lagrangian में cyclic coordinate है तो इसका कोई profit नहीं है आपको. Okay, you have to still deal with the same number of degrees of freedom, n degrees of freedom. Okay, suppose instead of saying n, if you have a 3 degrees of freedom, you have to still deal with the 3 degrees of freedom. But in case of a Hamilton, if qj is cyclic, if one coordinate is absent, the corresponding momentum is constant, and hence now you have to deal with the one less number of generalized coordinates. So degrees of freedom, you can say n minus 1 degrees of freedom you can deal. Okay. Yes,
Okay,
any
ma'am.
doubt about this? How the Lagrangian and Hamiltonian are different and how they have defined? जब भी आपको कोई एग्जांपल दिया है तो अगर आपके Lagrangian में कोई कोऑर्डिनेट साइक्लिक है तो आप क्या यूज करोगे, हैमिल्टन्स यूज कीजिए, सो दैट इट विल बी इजी फॉर यू फॉर द कैलकुलेशंस. Okay, let us go for the next part. Find the Lagrange LL from the Hamiltonian H and show that it satisfies the Lagrange's equation of a motion. Okay, this one is easy. Let me ask you, what is the example? Find the Lagrangian L. Find the Lagrangian L from Hamilton's canonical equations of motion. Hamilton's canonical equation motion and prove that and show that it satisfies Lagrange's equation of motion. It satisfies the Lagrange's equation of motion. Okay, find the Lagrangian from the Hamilton's H and prove that it satisfies the Lagrange's equations of motion. Okay, Lagrangian हमें find out करना है from Hamiltonian. Hamiltonian कैसे define किया हमने? Summation over J Pj Qj dot minus L. So इस पर से आप Lagrangian कैसे find out करोगे? L is equal to summation over J Pj Qj dot minus H. Correct? From Hamiltonian, you have to derive the Lagrangian. Okay? Are you getting me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. So from the equation of Hamiltonian, derive the equation of Lagrangian and new Lagrangian जो हमने Hamiltonian से find out किया है, we have to prove that it also satisfies the Lagrange's equation of a motion. Okay. Now we have to show that the L satisfies the Lagrange's equation of a motion. So how to prove this? We have to start with first here, let me write down the equation d by dt of L with respect to Qj dot minus L with respect to Qj is equal to 0. Okay. Now we have given equations. So with the help of equation, I have to find out the value of dou L by dou Qj as well as I have to find out the value of d by dt of dou L by dou Qj dot, and then we have to prove the result. Okay. So L is with you. So first let me find out the value of dou L by dou Qj. And then find out the value of dou L by dou Qj dot. Dou L by dou Qj. Okay, we have to differentiate this with respect to Qj. Is there any term of a Qj in the first one? Pj hai, Qj dot hai. So what is the derivative? Hello, are you there?
Yes, ma'am.
डेरिवेटिव का येईल विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू क्यूजे अगर डिफरेंशिएशन आप ले रहे हो इस फंक्शन का जिसमें क्यूजे इन्वॉल्व भी नहीं है फर्स्ट टर्म में यस
पीजे मैम 0
0.
यहाँ पे आपका क्यूजे डॉट है और पीजे है राइट एंड वी आर डिफरेंशिएटिंग विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू क्यूजे so it should be 0 minus now we have to find out the derivative h considering h to be function of pj qj and t now we have to differentiate this with respect to qj so hence let me find out the derivative that is we have to first find out dou h by dou pj and then uh, derivative of a pj with respect to qj correct. Next term, what is the next term? Summation over j again. Dou h by dou qj. Derivative of qj with respect to qj is 1. Again, dou h by dou qj and derivative of qj with respect to t. Okay. So what about the first and the last term h with respect to pj and here pj with respect to qj and pj with respect to t. Yes, how you can evaluate this one? ये वाला टर्म करेक्ट है क्या? चेक करो और लेट अस पुट दिस एज अ होमवर्क फॉर यू. Because still some students are confused while finding the partial derivative. So this should be a homework for you people. ये वाला term correct है क्या? चेक करो और फाइंड आउट करो आंसर. फर्स्ट पार्ट आई हैव डन दिस. क्या करना है आपको? फर्स्ट you have to find out the Lagrangian from Hamiltonian, then prove that it satisfies Lagrange's equation of motion. फर्स्ट आपने dou L by dou Qj फाइंड आउट करना है, then d by dt of dou L by dou Qj dot, and then prove the result. Okay. Still some students are not able to find out the derivative. How many times we have solved this type of a derivative? From the first chapter itself, we are finding the derivative. Chain rule use करते हैं ना. We are differentiating this with respect to Qj. Okay, so derivative of h with respect to pj, pj with respect to t, h with respect to qj. So यहाँ पे क्या आना चाहिए? h with respect to t and derivative of a t with respect to qj. No one were having objection. Okay, so do it as a homework. I hope you can do it. थोड़ा सा स्टडी करना शुरू करो सब लोग. Okay. Whenever I confuse you people, you are not sure about the thing. You just say, "Ha, yes, this step is correct. This step is correct." From this, I will come to know that how many of you are really listening. मैंने पूछा भी उस टाइम पे कि whether this step is correct. Everyone say yes. At this stage, we should know how to find out the chain rule derivative. माहिती आहे ना सगळ्यांना chain rule derivative चा? Yes, say what you have to do now. Many times we told you to do a homework, many times we tell you to study. Okay, just giving an MCQ exam is not a worthwhile. Okay, अगर आपको ये सारे expressions ही नहीं समझ में आएंगे तो आप आगे चल के क्या करोगे? And today only 21 students are present for the lecture. This is what the stage at the first semester of your course. What will happen at the last semester? Only 2 or 3 students will be present, na? Okay, do it as a homework. Let us stop the lecture. Thank you. थोड़ा स्टडी करो सब लोग. जो भी क्लास में सिखाया जाता है उस पे भरोसा